Christian women, it is not a flex if the man you're talking to or you want to get married to started attending church just because of you. He's not attended church in 10 years, in 7 years, in 3 years, in 2 months. But since you guys started talking seriously and because he knows that it's a deal breaker for you, he now starts attending church. Now, while that is good if you are discipling him, that is not good if you're marrying him. Because number one, you are his discipler. You should not be marrying your discipler as a woman. The man is meant to be the spiritual head and priest over his home. You are meant to look at your husband, the way he loves the Lord, the way he studies the Bible, the way he prays, and be inspired to be a better Christian. So it is not a green light if a man starts attending church because of you, because men will do anything to catch the women they are chasing, and they show their real colors after they've gotten you. Number two, there is no objective reference of what his spiritual life is like. You just met a man and he's giving his life to Christ and he's just attending church and you want to marry him. You've been a Christian for 10 years. So you have to choose a struggle. Do you want to disciple him or do you want to marry him? It's very simple. Stop marrying men you brought to church. Stop marrying men you brought to church. And then you guys will turn back and say, Christian men are not even devoted. Or I don't know, I'm always the one praying. You are always the one praying because you are his discipler and you will forever be his discipler. It's different if he's going through a rough time in his life and probably down and maybe he needs accountability. But if you are the sole discipler, the sole teacher, the sole converter of that guy, you brought him to church, you are the one teaching him, you are the one discipling him, then that is not your husband. That is not your husband. Or maybe you want to wait it out a bit. Maybe you want to wait for a couple years to see what his fervency and what his consistency in the place of study and prayer will look like. But some of you bring men into church and then you expect that the men you brought into church will automatically become firebrand as you and then you marry them. It doesn't work that way. If he's not firebrand when you met him, there is no guarantee he will be firebrand. If you are the one trying to fan the flames of his fire, you might have to do that for all eternity. If you are the one having to encourage him to pray, that might just be your job description for the next 50 years of your life if you guys get married. So please stop bringing men into church to marry them. It's either you marry him or you disciple him, and you don't want to be the discipler of your own head in marriage.